Hi friends, in the last part we have seen the electromagnetic wave propagation in dielectrics, right, which were lossless isotropic dielectric media. Here in this video we are going to look into the electromagnetic wave propagation in conductors. So we know the Maxwell's equations are del bar dot d bar is equal to rho free, del bar dot b bar is equal to 0, del bar cross E bar is equal to minus del B bar by del T, and del bar cross B bar, or we can write H bar, is equal to J free plus del D by del T. We have already seen conductors in electrostatics, right? And we have also seen that charges do not reside inside the conductor, they will reside on the surface of the conductor. So what happens is that when you take a conductor and you put some charges inside it, they will take some time to come out and come on the surface. So the time that they will take to come to the surface, that time is called as the characteristic time or the relaxation time tau, which we will look later. Now the volume charge density we know in the conductor rho free is equal to 0. This goes and this equation will now become del bar dot E bar is equal to 0. This remains as it is, del bar dot B bar is equal to 0. This remains as it is, del cross E is equal to minus del B by del T. Here we are having J free, so we are going to use Ohm's law, that according to which it is J free is equal to sigma into E bar. Sigma is known as the electrical conductivity. So you put that here and we will have del bar cross B bar is equal to mu sigma E bar plus epsilon mu del E bar by del T. Here epsilon we are using, which is the electrical permittivity of the conductor or the material, and mu is the magnetic permeability of the medium. So if we put sigma equals to 0 here, we will get only epsilon mu del E bar by del T. That would mean that J free equals to 0, and we will go back to the the dielectric material. That will be the equation for the dielectric material. Here the wave equations will be del squared E bar. Same thing, how do we find the wave equation? Take del cross E as well as del cross B. So when you do that, you will get del squared E bar minus epsilon mu. Okay, what we have seen before is del squared E bar minus epsilon mu del squared E bar upon del T square. There will be an additional term which is mu sigma del E bar by del T. This is an extra term for conductors. Similarly for magnetic field, del squared B minus epsilon mu del squared B bar upon del T square minus mu sigma del B bar by del T is equal to 0. Now the solution, the general solution to these wave equations is E bar of RT is equal to E naught bar E raised to I K dot R minus omega T, right? But here we are having K star, which is a complex quantity. Similarly, we have B bar of RT is equal to B naught bar E raised to I K bar dot R bar minus omega T, which is again a complex quantity. So this K star is the complex wave vector, and it is written as, this K star can be written as alpha plus I beta. Alpha is the propagation term and beta is the attenuation term, or like it will give us the information about the propagation of the wave, and this will give us the or this will result in the attenuation of the wave. So what is alpha and beta now? Alpha is, you have to remember these formulas, okay? Omega root of epsilon mu by 2 1 plus sigma upon epsilon omega the whole square root plus 1 the whole raised to half. And beta will be equal to omega root of epsilon mu by 2 1 plus sigma upon epsilon omega the whole squared root minus 1 the whole raised to half. Here we had plus 1, here we have minus 1. That is the only difference between this alpha and beta. So this alpha results in the propagation of the wave, therefore we can write the velocity of the wave we know is omega by k. In this k term here we can use only alpha, which will be omega upon alpha. Beta is the term which results in the attenuation of the wave, and this beta we are going to use to find the skin depth delta, which is equal to 1 by beta. We will also look into this. So let's take a wave, an electromagnetic wave, and just consider the electric component of the wave, and it is hitting a conducting material, or it is falling on a conducting material, okay, from free space. So let's say the wave electric field of the wave is E naught. It is moving in the x hat direction, e raised to I k star z minus omega t. The wave is moving in the z direction and the electric field is along the x direction. This I can write as E naught x hat e raised to I. K is nothing, k star is alpha plus I beta. You'll have alpha z plus I beta z minus omega t. Separate this, you'll have E naught x hat e raised to I squared is minus. You'll have e raised to minus beta z out, and we'll have I alpha z minus omega t. This term and this term, this we can write x hat here. This is the amplitude of the wave, which is a exponentially decaying amplitude. So what happens is, if you have a conductor and you have free space, this is the z direction, which is the propagation of the wave. This is the x hat direction, which is the direction of the electric field. So in free space, the amplitude will be constant, will be just E naught. So we will have just E naught, okay. But when it goes inside, the wave goes inside the conductor, the amplitude starts decaying exponentially. So the amplitude starts decaying, and this is the exponentially decaying amplitude E naught e raised to minus b z. So now we can get the skin depth delta, which is 1 by beta skin depth. It is the distance inside the conductor up to which the amplitude of the wave decreases to 1 by E times the amplitude on the surface. That is the distance inside the conductor up to which the amplitude becomes E naught by E. If initially it is E naught, and the distance when the amplitude becomes E naught by E, that distance is known as the skin depth, which is delta. And this delta is equal to 1 by beta, and beta is this value, where we know omega is what? Epsilon, mu and sigma. Okay. Now in the beginning I told you about relaxation time, or the characteristic time tau, right? Let's look at that now. According to the equation of continuity, we have del dot J free is equal to minus del rho free upon del T. And we also know Ohm's law, J free is equal to sigma into E. Put this value here, we'll have del bar dot sigma into E is equal to minus del rho free upon del T. That is sigma out, del bar dot E bar is equal to minus del rho free upon del T. We can multiply by epsilon and divide by epsilon. So epsilon into E is D. So you'll have sigma upon epsilon del bar dot D bar is equal to minus del rho free upon del T. And del dot D is rho free. So we will have sigma upon epsilon rho free is equal to minus del rho free upon del T. This comes out to be del rho free upon del T plus sigma upon epsilon rho free is equal to 0. And the solution to this equation is rho free at time t is equal to rho free at time 0 e raised to minus sigma t upon epsilon. So any initial free charge inside the conductor will dissipate, or it will come to the surface in characteristic time tau, which is given by epsilon upon sigma. So this can also be written as e raised to minus t by tau. Tau will be epsilon upon sigma. So based on this characteristic time, we are having three types of conductors. One is a perfect conductor. Next we have a good conductor, and then we have a bad or a poor conductor. So what exactly will be a perfect conductor? A perfect conductor will be one in which the conductivity will be infinite and the characteristic time tau will be equal to 0. That is, as soon as you put the charges as soon as you put the charges, they will come out on the surface. So that will mean tau equals to 0. What about good conductor? A good conductor is when this characteristic time tau is very much less than other relevant times in the problem, and we take like 1 by omega. Okay, that means the condition here will be tau is epsilon upon sigma is very much less than 1 by omega. So we will have sigma upon epsilon omega is very much greater than 1. This is for good conductor. Now you put this value in the values of alpha and beta. From alpha we'll get V, from beta we'll get the skin depth delta. Put that and we will get alpha is equal to root of omega epsilon mu by 2. Beta will also be same, omega epsilon mu by 2. So V will be equal to omega upon this value alpha, and delta will be 1 by this value beta. This is for good conductor. Now what about a bad conductor? For a bad conductor, this characteristic time will be much larger than 1 by omega. That would mean sigma upon epsilon omega is very much less than 1. This is the condition for bad conductor. What will be alpha then? Alpha will be omega root of epsilon mu. Beta, you can find this on your own. Just put this condition in the values of alpha, in the equations of alpha and beta, and you will get that. Sigma upon 2 root of mu upon epsilon, and same thing again, velocity will be omega upon this alpha, and the skin depth will be 1 by this beta. That's clear now, right? Let's look at a problem. Okay, so we have a question. It says something like, at equilibrium, there cannot be any free charge inside a metal. However, if you forcibly put charge in the interior, then it takes some finite time to disappear. That is, disappear means to come to the surface or to move to the surface. Now, if the conductivity of the metal sigma is equal to 10 raised to 6 ohm meter inverse, and the dielectric constant is given as epsilon naught 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12 farad per meter. We have to find the time taken by the charges to come from inside to the outside, or to come from the interior to the surface. That is nothing but the characteristic time tau, and we know tau is equal to epsilon upon sigma. It is a very simple question. Epsilon is, sigma is 10 raised to 6. This will go up. We have to find the approximate values, right? So this will be 8.85 can be written as 10 into 10 raised to minus 12 into 10 raised to minus 6, and this will be 6, 7, 8, 18, 18 minus 1, 17. Approximately it will take 10 raised to minus 17 seconds for the charges inside to come to the surface, for a material with dielectric constant this and with conductivity conductivity sigma. In a conductor, note that this problem is done. The electric field and the magnetic field are out of phase by an angle phi, where this phi is equal to tan inverse beta upon alpha. Here electric field leads the magnetic field by an angle phi. Also the Poynting vector, as we know the formula is 1 by mu E cross B. So we can see the Poynting vector is proportional to E square, right? When you solve this, you will get it is proportional to E square. So when S is proportional to E square, and we also know E is something E naught e raised to minus beta z, right? That we just found. So that will be e raised to minus beta z into e raised to minus beta z. E raised to minus beta z will be e raised to minus 2 beta z. Beta is nothing but 1 by delta. So this will be e raised to minus 2z upon delta. Now the intensity I will be given as intensity at a distance z will be equal to intensity at the surface of the conductor e raised to minus 2z upon delta. This is another formula where this is the intensity inside the conductor at a distance z, and this is the intensity at the surface of the conductor. Okay. We will stop here. In the next part, we will look into potentials, like the potential formulation. Peace be upon you.